Good evening to one and all present here. We, the MMBA, with great joy and immense pleasure and privilege to extend warm welcome to all present here for the felicitation function. Nothing can be more assuring and heartwarming than the affectionate word welcome. May I invite Mr. SRINIVASA RAGHAVAN, President of MMBA, to welcome the gathering.
Happy evening to one and all. My beloved senior advocates, respectful additional advocate generals present here, government lawyers, office bearers of MMBA, and brothers and sisters. After a long gap, especially after the new team has assumed office few days back, we are here to welcome judges who have come to Madurai bench for the first time. It's a great privilege for MMBA to maintain the tradition which we have been following since our inception in the year 2005, that whenever a judge who has been appointed to Madras High Court visits Madurai for the first time, we extend a cordial and warm welcome, and whenever a judge demits office, we bid a nice farewell. So to keep this tradition, we are here. On this occasion, I extend my hearty welcome to Honorable Mr. Justice Baddu Devanand, Honorable Mr. Justice D. Bharata Chakravarti, Honorable Mr. Justice D. Nagarjun, Honorable Mr. Justice Telagavadi, Honorable Mr. Justice P. Dhanapal, and Honorable Mr. Justice C. Kumarappan. So this function is actually meant to be simple but an eventful one. I don't want to stand between you and the chief guest. Once again, I welcome one and all present here and the chief guest present here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. To be inspired is great, but to be an inspiration is an honor. On behalf of the bar and as a leader of the bar, may I request Mr. Veera Kadaravan, Additional Advocate General, to honor each and every guest with garland. To Honorable Mr. Dr. Justice D. Nagarjun. To Honorable Mrs. Justice K. Govindarajan Tilagavadi. To Honorable Mr. Justice P. Dhanapal. To Honorable Mr. Justice C. Kumarappan. Thank you, Lordship. Thank you, sir. May I request Mr. SRINIVASA RAGHAVAN, President of MMBA, to honor Honorable Mr. Justice Baddu Devanand with a memento. Thank you, Lordship. Thank you, sir. May I request Mr. AAYRAM K. SELVAKUMAR, General Secretary of MMBA, to honor Honorable Mr. Justice D. Bharata Chakravarti with a memento. Thank you, Lordship. Thank you, sir. May I request Mr. Saravana Kumar, Treasurer of MMBA, to honor Honorable Dr. Justice D. Nagarjun. Thank you, Lordship. Thank you, sir. May I request Mr. Prabhu, Librarian of MMBA, to honor Honorable Mrs. Justice K. Govindarajan Tilagavadi. Thank you, Lordship. Thank you, sir. May I request Mr. C.B. Chakravarti, Joint Secretary of MMBA, to honor Honorable Mr. Justice P. Dhanapal with a memento. Thank you, Lordship. Thank you, sir. May I request Mr. Ajay Kumar Rahul, Convener of MMBA, to honor Honorable Mr. Justice C. Kumarappan with a memento. Thank you, Lordship. Thank you, sir. May I now request Mr. Veera Kadaravan, Senior Advocate, Additional Advocate General, to offer his felicitation to all the Honorable Judges.
My Lords, Honorable Mr. Justice Baddu Devanand, Honorable Mr. Justice D. Bharata Chakravarti, Honorable Mr. Justice D. Nagarjun, Honorable Mr. Justice K. Govindarajan Tilagavadi, Honorable Mr. Justice P. Dhanapal, Honorable Mr. Justice C. Kumarappan, Mr. SRINIVASA RAGHAVAN, our beloved President, Madurai Bench of Madras High Court, and MMBA, Mr. AAYRAM K. SELVAKUMAR, General Secretary of MMBA, the President Secretaries of the other associations, office bearers of MMBA, respected senior advocates, my beloved juniors, representatives of the media, Ladies and gentlemen, good evening to one and all, and அனைவருக்கும் என்னுடைய மாலை வணக்கம். At the outset, I wish to thank the honorable judges on this dais for consenting to be with us here today during this felicitation ceremony. It is my immense pleasure to be with you all during this felicitation ceremony to felicitate the honorable judges, and I thank the office bearers of Mmba for arranging the wonderful ceremony and for giving me this opportunity. It is also appreciable that Mmba is maintaining a tradition from the day of inspection that felicitating and giving a farewell to the honorable judges during their first visit on their demitting the office is a welcome measure, and I especially thank our office bearers of the Mmba for continuously doing these functions without any interruption. My Lord Honorable Justice Batu Devanand. Honorable Mr. Justice Batu Devanand was born on 14/4/1966 at Gudivada town, Krishna district, Andhra Pradesh. His Lordship parents were government teachers. His Lordship had his primary school education at Panchayat Elementary School and high school education at Municipal School. His Lordship was the Students' Union President during 1984-85 while pursuing BA degree at ANR College, Gudivada, and also as such during 88 and 89 at Law College, Andhra University, Visakhapatnam, while pursuing BL degree. After enrollment as an advocate on the rolls of the Bar Council of State of Andhra Pradesh on 6/7/1989, initially his Lordship started practice at district courts at Visakhapatnam and later shifted his practice to the High Court of Andhra Pradesh at Hyderabad. Served as Assistant Government Pleader in the High Courts from 1996 to 2000, counsel for various central government undertakings, elected as a member of the Bar Council of the State of Andhra Pradesh in 2006. His Lordship was the member of the Disciplinary Committee of the Bar Council and member of the AP Advocates Welfare Fund Committee during 2006 to 2012. Served as a government pleader in the High Court of Andhra Pradesh from 14/7/2014 to 5/7/2019 and appeared in various departments. His Lordship is blessed with 2 daughters, elevated to the bench as a judge of the High Court of Andhra Pradesh and assumed charge on 13/1/2020 and on transfer assumed charge on our Chartered High Court on 10/4/2023. His Lordship, while accepting the welcome address and the principal seat of this honorable court, has said, unless the court orders are implemented, its true letter and spirit, they are nothing but a waste paper. We all agree with the Lordships that the court orders must be obeyed by its letter spirit. There cannot be any second opinion about that. With regard to my Lord Justice D. Bharata Chakravarti, he was born on 24/7/1971, graduated in law from Dr. Ambedkar Government Law College, Puducherry, and enrolled on 15/7/1993 with the Bar Council of Tamil Nadu. His Lordship as an advocate practiced at the original side and criminal side of the High Court of Madras and tribunals and subordinate courts at Chennai for more than 27 years. Served as a public prosecutor for the Union Territory of Puducherry at the Madras High Court from 2017 till elevation. His Lordship was an accredited mediator from 2005 with the Tamil Nadu Mediation Conciliation Center, having mediated around 400 referrals. Apart from a trainer in mediation, having trained mediators and referral judges of the several states in India. He was an arbitrator, empaneled with the Madras High Court Arbitration Center, was a standing counsel for Puducherry Tourism Development Corporation Limited. His Lordship was authored an awareness booklet for the Tamil Nadu Mediation Center in 2009 by name Seek Mediation and co-authored several books. His Lordship ran a mobile app, Lift Law in Fingertips, a bilingual free legal educational app, and was trained to volunteer with the Madras High Court Gender Sensitization and Internal Complaints Committee. Elevated as an additional judge of High Court on 2010-2021. In this aspect, I want to share an important aspects. On the date of elevation, after the welcome address, traditionally by the Advocate General, my Lord gave a very splendid and an awesome acceptance speech after becoming a judge. Without making any notes and all, he volunteered. Such a wonderful speech he has made from the heart. It was very touching for each and every member who was present on the date of his elevation. He was very, very, very down-to-earth personality, both as an advocate as well as a sitting judge. And his speech, his acceptance speech after the welcome address was really touching. Now I request all my friends to go to the YouTube or any other website to find it out and read it again and hear it again for the betterment of your future career. Honorable Mr. Justice Devaraju Nagarjun was born on 15th August 1962 in Mahabubnagar district of Telangana, had school education from government school, graduated BSc from RLD College of Panaparthi town, did LLB at SSL Law College, Gulbarga, and LLM International Law from the Usmania University. His Lordship was awarded PhD in W2O GATS and Globalization of Legal Services in the year 2013 at Nalsar University of Law, Hyderabad. Enrolled as an advocate in the year 1986, joined the office of his father, late D. Ramakrishna Rao, and practiced in civil and criminal side and also in revenue courts. His Lordship worked as a principal private secretary to the Honorable Chief Justice of Andhra Pradesh High Court and as Assistant Director of Andhra Pradesh Police Academy, Hyderabad. Got selected as a junior civil judge on 1/5/1991 and worked as such as at various places and then promoted as senior civil judge in the year 2004 and further promoted as district judge on 17/9/2010, served as a registrar judicial in the High Court of Telangana up to 2nd September 2021 and thereafter as a registrar general of the High Court from 18th October 2021 till elevation as a judge of the High Court of Telangana on 24th March 2022. On transfer, my Lord assumed office as judge of a prestigious High Court in April 2023. My Lord Honorable Mr. Justice K. Govindarajan Telagavadi was born on 26/4/1966 at Puducherry and completed BL degree at Puducherry Law College, enrolled in the Bar Council of Tamil Nadu in 1989 and started practicing at Puducherry. In this context, several graduates who completed their law in Puducherry are adorning the bench as judges of this court. This is for your kind tips. Joined in judicial service as civil judge in 1995 and was promoted as senior civil judge in 2007. Thereafter promoted as district judge in 2013 and served as additional district judge in Ramanathapuram and then as special judge Magalir Nidimandram at Trichy at Viluppuram and as principal district judge Kadalur, then as a registrar, then district judiciary, High Court of Madras till elevation as a judge of our High Court on 7/2/2023. My Lord Honorable Mr. Justice P. Dhanabal was born on 5/3/1974 at Jalivadanayakan Pudur, Karur district, had his preliminary education at government schools in Toranakalpatti, Sukkaliur and Karur and his higher secondary at Municipal Higher Secondary School, Karur. Graduated in BSc Physics from Government Arts College, Karur in the year 1994. Did 3 years of BL degree course at Government Law College, Trichy from 1995 to 98 and enrolled as an advocate in the Bar Council of Tamil Nadu in the year 1998. His Lordship joined the judicial service in the year 2011, served as additional district municipal additional sub-judge, additional district judge and as a principal district judge Kadalur and then as a chief judge at Puducherry. Finally served as a registrar general High Court Madras from 2021 till elevation and my Lord was elevated as a judge of this Honorable High Court on 23/5/2023. My Lord Honorable Mr. Justice Kumarappan was born in July 15th, 1972 in Sivaganga district, completed schooling at Vallalpari Higher Secondary School at Kuntrakudi before joining the Government Law College in Coimbatore. His Lordship was posted as a second additional district municipal in Thuthukudi, later became an additional sub-judge of Thuthukudi, served as additional district judge in Madurai and was appointed as Registrar IT cum Statistics in High Court of Madras and Registrar General and then appointed as a Presiding Officer of the Principal Labour Court, Chennai, elevated as a Judge of High Court on 23/5/23. These are all the previous history of my lords, all the 6 judges. Now let me take the opportunity to say something about the independence of judiciary, the bar and bench and the public confidence on the judiciary. Independence of the judiciary. Judiciary is a system of courts, law that helps to ensure that supremacy of laws in any nation. It plays a crucial role in the functioning of a democracy. Under the doctrine of separation of powers, the judiciary is one of the principal organs of the state. An independent judiciary is extremely important for a democracy to prosper. The independence of the judiciary shall be guaranteed by the state and enshrined in the constitution or the law of the country. It is a duty of all government and other institutions to respect and observe the independence of the judiciary. The principles of independence of judicial entitles and requires the judiciary to ensure their judicial proceedings are conducted fairly and that rights of the parties are respected. The judges in an independent judiciary should have the freedom to exercise judicial powers conferred upon them without any influence, pressure or fear. The impartial judges play the most vital role to ensure the independence of the judiciary and act as a foundation of fair and impartial system of courts. Judicial independence is mainly of two types, namely institutional functional independence and the decisional independence. The institutional or functional judicial independence refers to the fact that the other organs of the government should not interfere in the judiciary by any means. Decisional judicial independence refers to the idea that a judicial officer should not be impartial, neutral and free from the prejudices and any biases while deciding any particular case. An independent judiciary is a sine qua non to ensure the vibrant democratic spirit of the nation. We all feel and hope, and my Lord, we are sure that all my lords will be following the independence of the judiciary as I stated. With regard to the bar and bench relationship, the faith in the judiciary of the general public and speedy justice mainly depends on the cordial relationship between the judges and the advocates. Bench and bar are the two arms of the same machinery. Unless they work harmoniously, justice cannot be properly administered through the court of law. With regard to bar, as an officer of the court, the lawyers are required to maintain a respectful attitude towards the court. Statements of the lawyers influence the court, so they are under a moral and a legal obligation to be fair and cordial in their dealings with the court. Lawyers have to maintain the dignity and the decorum of the court. They have not to do or behave in as such which may bring down the reputation of the court in the mind of the litigant as well as the general public of the society. A lawyer is a member of the legal profession who represents the clients. He is an officer of the legal system and a public citizen having special responsibility for the quality of justice. He performs the functions of an advisor, evaluator and a negotiator. Therefore, a lawyer should be competent, prompt, diligent and maintain proper communication with the clients. A lawyer should use the law procedures only from the legitimate purposes and not to harass or intimidate others by using it. He should demonstrate respect for the legal system and for those who serve it, including the judges and public officials. As a public citizen, a lawyer should also seek improvement of law, access to the legal system, the administration of justice and the quality of service rendered by the legal profession. Good and strong advocacy by the counsel is necessary for the good administration of justice. The profession has a responsibility to assure that its regulations are conceived in a public interest and not in furtherance of any self-interested concerns of the bar. As a leader of the bar, I assure on behalf of the bar that will maintain the decorum and dignity of the bar inside and outside the court, my lords. Then with regard to the bench, there should be a patient hearing and cooperation from the side of the judge. Till the lawyer is presenting his case in an orderly way, as otherwise it will lead to miscarriage of justice. Judges have the primary responsibility to protect and preserve the independence of the judiciary. A judge should be honest and moral upright. The judges should have personal and intellectual integrity and their character and conduct should be praiseworthy. With regard to bar and bench relationship, the relationship of the bar and bench is quite delicate. On the one hand, it is important to allow an advocate to be firm and resolute in the pursuit of his case. On the other, the judge must maintain his authority in the court. This dignity of the judicial officer is essential for the survival of the society, and therefore mutual respect is necessary for the cordial relations between both of us. With regard to the public faith and the judiciary, I want to say something. The judicial discipline must be followed if the trust is to be built in the institution of judiciary. The constitution belongs to the people of India. The courts are belonging to the people. The courts are human institution as any other institution. The other institution may survive by power, not the courts. Courts survive on the strength of the public trust and confidence. Public trust is generated by the role that the judges play. The judicial culture is generated by the role that the judges play. Then the justice must be done even if the heavens may fall. Judges must remain impartial, should be known by all the people, are the general principles governing the governance of judiciary. With this, I conclude my welcome address. On behalf of the bar, we all maintain, as expected by my lords, and will be cooperating for a smooth functioning of the court. Once again, I thank the office bearers of MMBA for giving me the opportunity to welcome the honorable judges who are coming to the Madurai bench after their elevation. Thanking you.
Thank you, sir. May I now request Mr. Bharathan, advocate, to offer his felicitation to the honorable judges.
Honorable judges adorning the dais, friendly office bearers of MMBA, helping and learned additional advocate generals, elder and younger members of the bar, members and staff of the registry, members of this MMBA, as well as the staff of MMBA. Good evening to every one of you. I have been given just 300 seconds to complete my felicitation, so I'll be very short. Whenever a new judge comes to Madurai, we offer felicitations. And along with the felicitations, we make a request to all the judges. Please be kind enough. Please be gracious enough. And please be relief-oriented. Normally, we make all these requests. Now, today we are on 19th of July, and already more than 10 days have passed since the honorable judges have started sitting here. I think I need not make this request to the honorable judges, because already they have started their kindness, graciousness, and their relief-oriented approach towards us. In fact, to name a few, Honorable Justice Batu Devanand. In fact, it is the talk of the day and talk of the bar, how a judge of the High Court can swing the whip under the contempt jurisdiction to enforce the orders of the High Court. Because we have sometimes we have forgotten the contempt jurisdiction now. Now it is your lordship who has now reminded the bar as well as the law officers as well as the executive how the orders of the High Court should be obeyed. We thank lordship for that. Honorable Justice Bharata Chakravarti. His lordship now is talk of the state. I do not want to say why. I welcome your lordship to Madurai and Madras Madurai bench. Honorable Justice Dr. Nagarjun. In fact, on 2nd of July, when we came to know about the sitting arrangements, and we were thinking that two of the judges who does not know Tamil are going to come. So we have to make arrangements for translation of all the Tamil documents and everything. But very fortunately for us, even from day one, His Lordship Justice Nagarjun is not insisting on translated papers on each and every matter. Only where it is very much required, His Lordship is insisting for translated papers, and we thank you, Lordship, for that. Honorable Justice Tilagavadi. His ladyship is an ever-pleasing and ever-smiling ladyship. Normally, what advocates expect from a judge who is sitting in an admission portfolio is an interim order. Your Lordship is always now showering us with interim orders. So, we thank your Lordship and we welcome your Lordship to Madurai. Honorable Justice Dhanapal J. His Lordship is very patiently hearing all of us. In fact, such patient hearing is sufficient for an advocate, whether he succeeds or fails. But this patient hearing gives every advocate that he has done his duty. We thank your Lordship for that, and we welcome your Lordship to Madurai and Madurai bench. And at last, Honorable Justice Kumarappan J. His Lordship is very interacting with every arguing counsel. His Lordship is expressing what is going on in your Lordship's mind. And that makes one thing, because we need not argue elaborately, we need not take much time. Once your Lordship expresses your Lordship's mind, we are able to pinpoint everything. And if your Lordship is not agreeing with us, we can try to convince your Lordship on some other point. We thank you, Lordship, for that. And we welcome your Lordship to Madurai and Madurai bench. With that, I conclude. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. May I request Honorable Mr. Justice Batu Devanand to deliver the acceptance speech.
My brother, Justice Bharata Chakravarti, brother Justice Nagarjun, sister Justice Govindarajan Telakvadi, brother Justice Dhanabal, and Justice Kumarappan, the President of the Madurai bench of Madras High Court Bar Association, SRINIVASA RAGHAVAN, and General Secretary of the Madurai bench of Madras High Court Bar Association, Thiru K. SELVAKUMAR, and senior advocates and additional advocate generals, members of the Bar Association, office bearers of the Bar Association, senior advocates, women advocates, ladies and gentlemen, good evening to all. I am very happy and glad to discharge my constitutional functions in this prestigious Chartered High Court of Madras and in the Madurai bench also. I am not a good speaker. I believe judges has to speak through their judgments or orders. But after observing your affectionate felicitation and welcome, I want to share few things with you. Everywhere where I worked as judge, I used to tell the young advocates, sometimes senior advocates also, while they are representing, they say, they use the word, I beg my lord. I am against to that word, begging. The advocates are the officers of the court. You can request anything, you can submit anything, but the using begging is, it appears it is very unfortunate. As an officer of the court, I request all the advocates never use that word. For your self-respect. Second thing, I think it is not proper to speak all those things when you felicitated me here. But for last 2 months, after working in the principal bench and this Madurai bench, I observed that the advocates' problems are the same in the entire country. There is no change. Today I am dealing with the portfolio of service matters up to 2019. 2013 writ petitions, which are listed first time in 2013, which were direct to be posted after 2 weeks. Now those cases are not being listed till now. Is it not the failure of the High Court administration? Is it not the failure of the Bar Association? Is it not failure of the advocates? The litigant public will come to us with fond hope for justice. If we are not in a position to dispense with the justice within the reasonable time, the people will lose hope on this institution. It is not good to our nation. Problems of the advocates. When case is listed, immediately, within the reasonable time, if it is in order, it has to be listed before the admission court. Once it is urgent for instructions or counters, on the specific date, it has to be listed. Once order is passed by the court, interim order or final order, within the reasonable time, copy of the order has to be furnished to the councils. These three are very important to every advocate. But in the Andhra Pradesh High Court also, I observed the same thing. In the principal bench of the Madras also, I observed the same thing here also. Where is the fault? We are all responsible for that. Every day I am asking the advocates, when case is not listed for 7.5 years, what you are doing? At least advocates has to bring to the notice of the court. That's why I request all the advocates to cooperate for early disposal of the cases, to do justice to the litigant public who are coming to this institution with a great hope. Thank you very much for giving this opportunity.
Thank you, Lordship. May I request Honorable Mr. Justice Bharata Chakravarti to deliver the acceptance speech.
அன்னை தமிழுக்கும் தமிழார்ந்த மதுரைக்கும் சீர்மிகு மதுரை மாநகரிலே வீற்றிருந்து அறம் கூறும் சென்னை உயர்நீதிமன்ற மதுரை கிளைக்கும் என் பணிவான வணக்கங்கள். My dear colleagues, respected senior advocates, office bearers of the MBA, and my dear members of the bar. It is indeed a great privilege for me to be amongst you. And thank you very much for felicitating all of us. And when President and other office bearers invited me 2 days ago, initially I felt a little shy. Okay, should I be welcomed after so much of time? சில நேரங்களில் வந்து நீங்கள் எதுவுமே செய்யாமல் சில ரெக்கார்டு ஏற்படுத்தலாம். therefore maybe I have created a record that to accept a felicitation after becoming a judge for so long. So thank you very much for the affectionate felicitations and warm words spoken about me. I can only reciprocate by my conduct and not by my speech. Therefore you are there to judge me at the end of the tenure. So thank you very much. And yes, I have been there in rendu varama I have been here. So my feedback which I saw was that, like, all of us on both sides are so very good as the officer of the court. Where they want to concede, they are conceding. They are not taking adjournment unnecessarily, and they are contesting only in the matters of where they have to contest. That I observed was a very great quality of the Madurai bar in the past 2 weeks itself. Because that is very, very important rather than any other capability of this thing. As an officer of court, how we have to discharge our functions is very, very important. நான் ஒரு கதை சொல்கிறேன். ஒருத்தர் ரோடில் நடந்து போயிட்டே இருந்தார் முன்னாடி, பழைய காலத்தில், ஒரு ராஜா காலத்தில். அப்போ என்னாச்சு, அவர் தலையில் வந்து, சாரி ஃபார் மீ, ஐ ட்ரான்ஸ்லேட் வித் யுவர் பர்மிஷன்ஸ். ஐ எம் மோர் கம்ஃபர்டபுள். ஆல்ரைட். ஒருத்தர் சாலையில் நடந்து போயிட்டே இருந்தாருங்க. அவர் தலையில் ஒரு குப்பை கூட எடுத்து அவர் தலையில் கொட்டிட்டாங்க. அப்போ இமீடியட்லி தி அதர் பர்சன், அந்த வீட்டில் இருந்த ஆள் வந்து அவர் சொன்னார், சாரிங்க ஏதோ தெரியாமல் நடந்து போச்சு அப்படின்னார். அப்போ உள்ள அரங்கூரும் ஆவேயத்தில் போய் அவர் பிராது கொடுத்தாரு ராஜா காலத்தில். அப்போ அவங்கெல்லாம் வந்தாங்க. அப்பயும் அந்த ஓனர் சொன்னார், ஏங்க நான் தெரியாமல் கொட்டிட்டேன், அதுக்கு மன்னிப்பு கேட்டுக்கிறேன்னார். அப்போ அவர் கூட அப்போ வழக்கறிஞர் மாதிரி இருந்த ஒருத்தர் சொன்னார், அதெல்லாம் விட முடியாது, இது என்னான்னு விசாரித்து இதுக்கு நீங்கள் உண்டான தீர்ப்பு நீங்கள் சொல்லியே ஆகணுன்னாரு. சரி, இவர் சொல்கிறார், இன்சிஸ்ட் பண்ணுறாரு, லிட்டிகண்ட் இஸ் இன்சிஸ்டிங், தேர்ஃபோர் அவங்க விசாரிக்க ஆரம்பித்தாங்க. அப்போது அந்த கொட்டினவர் சொன்னார், இது என் வீட்டு கொப்பையே இல்லைங்க, பக்கத்து வீட்டுக்காரன் இந்த 2 மாடி கட்டியிருக்கான், அவன் அந்த மாடியிலேருந்து என் வீட்டில் கொட்டிட்டான். நான் எப்பயுமே சுத்தமாக வச்சுருப்பேன் என் வீட்டில், பதறிட்டு நான் உடனே அந்த பசத்தை எடுத்து கொட்டிட்டேன் அப்படின்னா. அப்போ பக்கத்து வீட்டுக்காரனை போய் விசாரித்தாங்க. அடுத்தது அவர் என்ன சொன்னார், என் மேலே எந்த தப்பும் இல்லைங்க, நான் எப்பயுமே என்னோடய மூளையில் தான் குப்பை கொண்டு போய் இந்த தெரு ரோட்டில் தான் கொட்டுவேன். நானும் பார்க்குறேன் 3 நாளாக அந்த குப்பை எதுவுமே எடுத்துகிட்டு போகல, ஃபுல்லாக ரம்பி வழிது, இதுக்கு மேலே இங்கே யாரும் கொண்டு வரக்கூடாதுன்னு சொல்லிட்டாங்க, அதனால் நான் வச்சுருந்தேன், இது பக்கத்து வீட்டில் விழுந்து போச்சு அப்படின்னாங்க. இது என்னடான்னு அடுத்த போய் அந்த முக்கட்டில், அந்த தெரு முக்கத்தில் உள்ள அந்த குப்பையை எடுக்கிற அந்த மாநகராட்சியோட ஆட்கள்கிட்ட விசாரித்தாங்க. ஏங்க, எங்கள் மேலே எந்த தப்பும் இல்லைங்க, மந்திரி வீட்டு கல்யாணம்ன்ட்டு எங்கள் ஆட்களை எல்லாரையும் கூப்பிட்டு போயிட்டாங்க, அதனால் நாங்கள் குப்பையை அள்ள முடியலைங்க அப்படின்னாங்க. சரி, நேரம் மந்திரிக்கிட்ட விசாரித்தாங்க. ஏங்க, என் மேலே எந்த தப்பும் இல்லை, நான் சிம்பிளாக கல்யாணம் பண்ணியிருப்பேன், என் வீட்டு கல்யாணத்துக்கு ராஜா வராருங்க, அதனால் நான் கிராண்டாக தானேங்க பண்ணி ஆகணும், அதனால் நான் வந்து எல்லாரையும் வர சொன்னேன்னாங்க. நேராக அடுத்தது ராஜா கிட்ட போனாங்க. ராஜா கொஞ்ச நேரம் யோசித்தார். ஏயா, யாரோ யார் தலையிலையோ குப்பையை போட்டதுக்கு என் வரைக்கும் வந்து நீங்கள் கேள்வி கேட்பீங்களா? பிராது கொடுத்தா பாரு, அவனை மரியாதையே உள்ள வைங்க. பிராது கொடுத்தவொடனே உள்ளே வச்சுட்டாங்க அரங்கூரும் ஆயத்தில். ஆமாம், ராஜா சொல்கிறதும் கரெக்டாக தானே இருக்கு. அது therefore the moral of the story is நம்ம எந்த வழக்கில் எந்த அளவுக்கு ப்ரெஸ் பண்ணணும், வேர் வி ஹாவ் டு கன்சீட், வேர் வி ஹாவ் டு கன்சீட், வேர் வி ஹாவ் டு கோ ஃபார் காம்ப்ரமைஸ், வேர் வி ஹாவ் டு கோ ஃபார் காம்ப்ரமைஸ், வேர் வி ஹாவ் டு ஆர்கியூ அப்படின்றது இட் ஹாஸ் காட் அ கிரேட்டர் இம்பார்ட்டன்ஸ் ஆஸ் மெம்பர்ஸ் ஆஃப் த பார் ராதர் தேன் அவர் eruditeness or learnedness. And that I found very great in the Madurai bar, and that is why I am saying that there, worldwide they are saying two things. Acquiring great skills is one thing. Honing what you are great in it, நம்மள்ட்ட இருக்கிற நல்ல குவாலிட்டியை இன்னும் மேன்மேலும் வளர்த்துக்கிறது is another skill. Therefore, I request you to concentrate on that and hone the great skill so that we will be world class one day. We need not compare to any other town or any other person. We should be world class, and persons, young advocates in Singapore or London should come to Madurai for 3 months internship to learn professional ethics. That is how, and I hope that the Bar Association will guide you in that respects. Thank you. I have taken a little bit 2 more minutes of time. Thank you so much. Thank you one and all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lordship. May I request Honorable Dr. Justice D. Nagarjun to deliver the acceptance speech.
Very good evening, sir. My colleagues on the dais, Mr. SRINIVASA RAGHAVAN, the President of the Madurai Bench of Madras High Court, and also the Secretary, learned advocate, Additional Advocate Generals, learned Senior Counsels, ladies and gentlemen, and all other friends who are present here. I'm actually immensely happy for inviting me to this evening small gathering where we all come to know each other, understand. Normally, whenever a judge is elevated or transferred, the practice in our high courts, perhaps Mr. Batu Devanand Garu also will agree with me, on the very first day, most likely, or next working day, they will be invited to the Bar Association and try to understand each other, maybe exchange pleasantries and commence the work. But this is good. Now, it's 2.5 weeks over. All those advocates who have been appearing before me, they knew, as one of your colleagues said, what I am, and other things also, maybe. And similarly, I also know most of them who have been appearing day in, day out. And I'm really very happy when I'm asked to come here for 3 months period to work. But having come here, before coming, we know we are really enthusiastic for a variety of reasons. Some couple of personal reasons as well. But there are personal my stories as to why I intend to come. But when I was talking to my other colleagues who are coming here, everybody is excited to come here and work. I never seen anything as to why I'm coming here, why I'm going. But once having come here, I realized that 3 months period is not sufficient to stay. It should have been more than that. The reasons are many, apart from the infrastructural facilities, which also adds. But the environment in the court, the way advocates receive, the advocate presence, because we all know that in your lives and our lives also as judges, we spend most of the time in the court itself. And the rest of the time, few hours with the family in the home. We don't have any other work. No other private and personal. Maybe advocates will have private lives, but at least for the judges, we don't have, until we retire, we really don't have our private life at all. That in a place like this, where we come from a different part of this country, then we really know anybody, do not know anybody. So we really enjoy working with the advocates. If the environment in any way, either the staff is not good, if the advocates are not pleasant, if the matters are not really good, if anything which is not convenient, certainly we feel really discomfort. I honestly say, I'm absolutely happy every second of my part here, I'm enjoying. And with regard to what one of your colleagues was saying, I never felt any difficulty in taking up the matters, which are some of my colleagues were also asking, even in Chennai also, when I was handling the civil revisions. Don't you really feel any difficulty when the matters are in Tamil? But still you are there to explain, right? Both of you are there. If at all really where matter comes for final hearing, when you're required to see, or even at the admission stage itself, I have been requesting the advocates, and they have been very kind enough to see that the orders are filed. The other reason for this happy to work here is, this Madurai is one of the historical towns. I do not tell about your town, it has got more than 1,000 years of history. And it's culturally very, very vibrant. On second day or first day, I guess, I went around the streets. The colorful street, the old traditions, the practices, festivals. People here, when compared to Chennai, I really feel that the culture is really protected here, this part, when compared to the other parts. And I wish it shall be continued to protect for whatever may be the reasons. See, I also understand these issues come before me every day. Every day we see the people are fighting to protect the culture. See, whenever the conflict will always come in the village. That's not an issue at all. Conflict shall be there, otherwise society will not progress, right? It shall be evolution unless conflict shall come and issues will emerge. Then they likely go to police, ultimately land in court, and something will emerge. So the cultural conflicts are actually coming to, see, people wanted to, some issues, all of you know that, to have the, worship in the court, there is issues. But those kind of issues will never come across in our state, honestly. So it's not been actually not tapped, not disturbed this part of the state, I guess. So that's also one of the reasons I'm really enjoying to be in this part of this city and to be among SFU. Thank you so much for whatever small time given to me. Thank you.
Thank you, Lordship. May I request Honorable Mr. Justice C. Kumarappan to deliver the acceptance speech.
Good evening to the dignitaries on the dais and off the dais. I am not a very good public speaker as like our brother Chakravarti. But one thing I want to share with you. The moment my name was referred by the Honorable Chief Justice for Madurai bench, when I speak with all the senior judges, they said one word: you go to Madurai, you can definitely enjoy. And I didn't take it very much seriously, but when I landed in Madurai and when I started the court proceeding, I could be able to perceive what the senior judges have informed. And the intellectual standard of the Madurai bench would definitely adhere to all the highest standard of in any state of the India, because I could share something to you, because about 15 years back, when I was a lawyer, and after that when I joined the district judiciary during 2011, when I meet the honorable judges of the Madras High Court, they used to always complain about Madurai benches, say that the standard of Madurai bench is not as like that of a principal bench, and the lawyers has to improve themselves. That is what the thought process of the honorable judges about 10 years back. Now recent past, for about past 5-6 years, every honorable judges used to say Madurai is very effective bar, very vibrant bar, and the one aspect, the juniors, the youngsters are more effective like a seniors. That is what the senior judges used to say. I personally feel for that. And one thing I just endorse my brother's view. Whenever any hot case is being argued among the council, and if we express one opinion, then immediately, if it is correct, the council would concede. Then we may have a confidence to dictate a judgment. So that is why these type of qualities I could able to I'm just appreciating the way in which you are interacting with the court. And apart from that, for the youngsters, do hard work. If you do hard work, you may not get an effective or suitable reward today. But don't think that reward won't come to you. God is having his own account. Whatever not paid today to you is being accounted by the God. One day you may not do any work, but everything will come to you. Therefore, one thing you have to follow is honesty, integrity, and hard work. Thank you. And today's this occasion, for this occasion, I'm express my heartfelt thanks to the office bearers. because this affectionate felicitation would definitely would become a boost for us to do more work. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lordship. May I request Mr. AAYRAM K. SELVAKUMAR, Secretary of MMBA, to propose the vote of thanks.
அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். It's a great privilege. Before my commencement of the vote of thanks, I tender my sincere thanks to the bar who made me to stand before you now. And the famous Tirukural says, வெள்ளத்தனைய மலர் நீட்டம் மாந்தர்தம் உள்ளத்தனைய உயர்வு. That means the length of the flower stalk will be in proportion to the depth of the water in which it grows. And the height of a man is in the proportion to his mind, especially the greatness. That is why the Valluvar says, வெள்ளத்தனைய மலர் நீட்டம் மாந்தர்தம் உள்ளத்தனைய உயர்வு. So amidst of a hectic schedule and tight works, our lordships have graciously consented to attend this small function, affecting function, and visited our MMBA. On behalf of MMBA, my sincere thanks to our Lordship, Honorable Mr. Justice Battu Devanand, Honorable Mr. Justice D. Bharata Chakravarti, Honorable Dr. Justice D. Nagarjun, Honorable Mrs. Justice G. Govindarajan Tilakavadi, Honorable Mr. Justice P. Dhanapal, and Honorable Mr. Justice C. Kumarapan. And the wonderful speech addressed by the learned Additional Advocate General, and he is the most affectionate to the bar. On behalf of MMBA, my sincere thanks to the learned Additional Advocate General Mr. Veerakadarban, who rendered a soothing and of course effective felicitation speech. And my dear friend Mr. Bharathan, whose meticulous observation and appreciation speech about our lordships. Thank you, Mr. Bharathan. And those who are present, learned Additional Advocate General Mr. Bhaskaran, Senior Advocate Mr. S. Meenakshundaram, Mrs. Krishnaveni, and Mr. T.S.R. Venkatramana, and all the law officers and all the senior advocates and other board members. On behalf of MMBA, my sincere thanks to all. During the busy weekdays and the busiest lawyers who gathered and participated and made this event in a grand hala success. Thank you, one and all. And my sincere thanks to my friend and President of the bar and the effective team of MMBA. Thank you, one and all. Nandri.
Thank you, sir.